y'all, it's ETX Thermal Hunter coming at y'all today to talk about the InfiRay Cabin CBL19. I'm gonna go ahead and hold it up for y'all so you can kind of see it, kind of give you a quick walk around of it, go over the specs real quick, and then I'll kind of give you a list of my pros and cons and kind of my overall opinion of this thermal monocular. Been really excited about getting my hands on one of these and get them in the field doing some testing. This is the first thermal monocular available in the USA by InfiRay. This is the CBL19 Cabin CBL19 model. It comes with a 19 millimeter focusable objective lens, focusable diopter viewfinder lens. It's got a built-in flashlight. It's got our standard configuration of the InfiRay buttons, your power buttons, your menu buttons, things like that. It's got a focusable objective knob on the bottom. It's a slider instead of like a round knob. You can kind of see how that would slide to focus the objective lens. This is a 384 by 288 thermal 50 hertz 12 micron thermal core. It's the Matrix 3 sensor and all the InfiRay sensors. Really great sensor. It's got a base magnification of 2x8. The 2 base power is an optical zoom, and then you got a digital zoom 4 power up to 8 power magnification. It's got a field of view at 100 yards of 72 feet. That's a really wide field of view. So great for scanning. Definitely great for seeing, looking out in the field and getting a wide field of view to kind of see what animals and what you're looking at for scouting. It's got like I said, it's got a built-in flashlight. It's a 3-watt focusable beam, as well as got 2 different modes, bright mode and a dim mode. You turn the flashlight on by pressing these 2 top buttons together, and you press them again to dim it, and you can press them again to turn them off. So real easy functions of the flashlight. It's got a detection range of about 1,000 yards. We'll talk about ID range here in a minute. It's got built-in picture-in-picture. It's got built-in Wi-Fi. It's got built-in video recording and photo capture, just no audio. Using the Wi-Fi connection, you can, and it just supports the InfiRay Outdoors mobile app. When you connect the thermal monocular to that application, you can move your files, whether they're videos or photos, back and forth to your phone. Also, you can use the viewfinder on your phone when you're connected to see what the scope is seeing. Start your recording. When you do recordings through the app with it paired to the scope, you will record audio through the phone. So you do have a way to record audio if you want to do that by connecting it to the InfiRay App Outdoor app. That'll let you get your audio with your videos. It's got built-in standby mode, so you click 2-button sequence, it puts it in standby mode. Click 2-button sequence, or click your power button, and brings it back. It's got a boot time of less than 10 seconds when you boot it. In standby mode, it's instant, so it comes right back on, ready to go. It comes with a removable, rechargeable battery. It's proprietary for this device from InfiRay. You can also buy an extra one. They're $99. So that's a really good thing that you can have. A removable rechargeable battery. Doesn't run off CR123s. You can also run it off of a power pack through the USB-C port on the front. Let's see what else it's got. It's got a built-in rangefinder if you need a rangefinder. Has a really nice hand strap. I don't know if that's important, but it is kind of nice. It's holds the device really nice, so you don't have to hold it all night. Really comfortable. Secures it to your hand. You don't want to drop these. So I know makes it a lot easier to hold it comfortably for long periods of time. It has the 5 color mode standard with the InfiRay. It's got black hot, white hot, red hot, a color mode, and then it's got this bird or highlight mode. All of the modes look really good on this unit. The price of this unit is $17.99, so really good price point for this unit. It's IP67 rated, so it's dust and waterproof for 30 minutes under up to 3 feet of water. So in case you're hunting in conditions where it might get wet, you can be rest assured, safe to know that it's not going to ruin the unit. It is waterproof. That's kind of the quick overview of the the thermal monocular and its specs. I'm kind of going to go into talking about my pros and my cons for this. Pros. First is, it's kind of gimmicky, I thought, but I really like it. I always carry a flashlight with me. I always need a flashlight in the field, whether it's crossing gates or you don't want to fall in a hole or you're looking in a bag for something or something you dropped on the ground. Having this built into the unit makes it really handy that you don't have to go look for a flashlight to then look for what you need the flashlight for. You click 2-button sequence on the top of the button sequence for turning it on. You can scan, look down, turn on walk, look through a bag. It's really great. So I really like that feature. I use it quite a bit, actually. I always carry a flashlight, but when I have this unit, I hardly ever even touch my flashlight. I just use this. I was really excited to get this in the field. I've had a lot of, hunted it in great conditions, hunted it with, foggy, wet, drizzly conditions. The image quality on this thing is awesome. For the money you have into this scope at $17.99, this sensor, it just performs really well in not ideal conditions. So foggy, high humidity, drizzly, rainy. I think the picture image looks outstanding. Typically, scopes in those conditions, that's when they're going to look their worst and not their best. Clear, cold, low humidity nights, thermals are going to look awesome. This looks really good in those conditions, but I was really surprised that, it really performs well in not ideal conditions. And for the price point, I think that's a huge plus. I do like this small form factor. It's really like the size of a normal standard laser rangefinder that I'm used to carrying when I'm deer hunting or coyote hunting. I like the form factor of it. I think it's, it's comfortable. It's compact, so it's easy to throw in a bag, easy to throw in a pocket, especially if you don't have a jacket and you're just in hunting jeans or you got a backpack with you. Really easy to throw in, really easy to sit in the console next to you in your UTV if you're driving through pastures in your four-wheeler or your UTV and you need to scan really quick. Really, really great for that. I think another thing, 5-year warranty. All the InfiRays have a 5-year warranty. That's probably the industry's highest warranty offered for any thermal on the market right now. Most are 3 to 4 years. So having 5 years security, if anything happens, it's replaced by a InfiRay. That's a huge bonus when you're spending that kind of money. Image quality, I'm gonna say, the two things that really stood out to me, I already talked about one, was that, it performs really well in not ideal conditions, as well as in ideal conditions, but especially in non-ideal conditions. The other thing that I think is really awesome is that scanning with it, when I'm scanning, moving back and forth, scanning open fields, looking for animals, as I'm driving through fields, it scans super smooth. There's no choppiness, there's no lag. I was really impressed. That was one of the things that first took me back about the image quality. Is I've used a lot of other thermal monoculars in this price range from other different manufacturers. And one thing I noticed on these, lower end thermal monoculars, not saying it's entry, but lower end, it's not $4,000 or $5,000 monocular, is that sometimes the scanning is a little choppy. This thing performs awesome. No lag, no choppiness, very smooth. So that's a huge pro to me. Some of the things I'm not a huge fan of is, like I said, it's not the end of the world. Just some of the things I'm not a huge fan of is that I had to get used to this focusable slide for the objective piece to focus your image. Most times they're on the end or they're on a knob on the side that you turn or on the top. This being on the bottom, I had to kind of get used to holding it up and then being able to focus it with one hand. It's not really focusable if you want to use one finger. I guess you could use your thumb, but I feel like when I did that, I over-focused or under-focused, and I had to kind of fine-tune it with my second hand. I'm used to using my second hand on other knobs, but it just is in an awkward position, so it took a little bit to get used to. But once I kind of got used to it, it wasn't too bad. Just was something that, in my personal opinion, I would rather it be a knob or a different location. But again, it works really well. It's just had to get used to it being in a different location and a different, how the slide functions different than a knob. So that was one thing I'm not a huge fan of. The rubber eyepiece, this is really minimal. It doesn't stay on very well. It'll pop on and you put it in your pocket or put it in a bag. You don't have to worry about, your lens getting scratched or cracked or anything like that. But it does pop off pretty easy. It doesn't stay on really well. Kind of gets in the way when I'm holding it sometimes. So not a huge deal, just not something I'm a super fan of. The other thing is, at night I found that this button configuration on the top, they're a little close, and so sometimes with gloves on, or colder conditions where I'm wearing gloves, or even just in general when I'm trying to execute the buttons, the menu button, the zoom in button, things like that, the image capture button, I have to kind of fumble around a little bit. It took a little bit to get used to. The buttons are a little bit close, and they're not as tactile sensitive, so I can't really distinguish them as well as other units I've used in the past. So one thing I would say is, the buttons could be improved a little bit so that they could be operated a little bit more efficiently in the dark. But after using it for a few weeks in the field, I figured it out pretty easily. Just something that, I'd make could be a little bit better. Let's talk ID range. For a $1,700 or $1,800 monocular, what is the ID range? I think conservative on the ID range is 250 to 275 maybe. And you might have different opinions when you get in the field, but comfortably IDing, this is a deer, that's a pig, this is a coyote, that's a cow, it's a dog, whatever it may be. I think 250 to 275 is probably the top end to where I'd feel comfortable saying, this is what this is. Detection, like I said, is way out there. You can detect heat for, up to 1,000 yards. Being able to identify it though, I would say anywhere from 250 to 275. So with that said, I think this will be great for, people that are, scanning fields that are not too open and wide and they want to be able to identify at a closer range, hunting under a feeder, when you're, 100 to 200 yards from your feeder. Tighter spaces, that makes it really well. It's got a wide field of view, so you can kind of see really wide. And then at 200, 250 yards, IDing, that's a pretty good identification range for the base magnification. Like I said, it's a 2-power base magnification. So that being said, you're already limited on your base magnification. You're going to have to zoom in, which cuts your resolution down when you do that. So I think 250, 275 is a very conservative identification. I think this is, you'll be very happy with this thermal monocular for the price. Like I said, image quality is great. Form factor is great. If you'd like to find out more about this thermal or you got questions for me, go ahead and drop a comment in the description of this video or comments of this video. You can also reach out to Hans and Jason at Outdoor Legacy Gear. Give them a call if you got questions. If you're interested in ordering one, you can call them at 877-350-1818. You can also just go to our website at outdoorlegacygear.com. I'll put the link to this monocular in the description of this video so you can jump right to it. If you're interested in, reading some reviews, looking at the specs, or even purchasing one, you can do it on our website as well. I really appreciate y'all checking out this video. I've really enjoyed using this in the field. Like I said, I was very impressed with it. It probably surpassed my expectations for the price point it was and what the features you get with. Thanks for checking out this video. If you have any more questions about this, like I said, drop a comment in this video. Also, while you're here, go ahead and check out some more videos on my channel. If there's anything you'd like me to review or you got questions about, feel free to shoot me a comment. You can also check me out on Instagram at ETX Thermal Hunter. I've got a lot of content there. You can feel free to DM me there or ask questions on my content there. Again, appreciate y'all's time. Y'all stay safe in the field and God bless. Thanks.